this. If you just pull it out and use your needles carefully, this, as long as it's rather long fibers, you can knit directly from the roll. And it works out just fine. So, the spinning wheel was invented by Leonardo da Vinci, the one that was the artist. He made drawings in his notebooks, and they didn't pay any attention to him for 100 years. But it was really a really good invention. What he invented was this tube right here that goes around, and the thread goes in it and comes out the side. And so when you turn this, it twists the thread. And when it twists, that makes yarn, that makes it strong. It's almost useless like this. But then you can make all kinds of clothings if you have a spun and therefore strong, continuous yarn. If you wanted to do this by hand, you could only make about 20 inches in one piece. But the wheel draws it in and makes it. And you can keep going until the spindle gets full, which is many yards.
What is this, wool or?
This is wool. This is sheep's wool that I'm using. From my own farm. My sheep eat the grass, grow the wool, and so I shear it off, wash it, comb it, and spin it. And sometimes it's colored, and sometimes I dye it. Then I make robes. Because I have lots of fiber, I don't want to make tiny things, because my sheep are growing wool faster than I can make them.
It's amazing.
How do you get it to this point?
Well,
To this?
when I get it off the sheep, it's quite filthy. So I wash it, and it's just, it's washed without jiggling it much. It's just sort of soaked and spun. And the dirt, it's really filthy, but the dirt comes off quite easily. Just like a little detergent and then 2 inches, and it's quite good. Then it's kind of matted and tangled. So I have a choice of sending it away or doing it by hand. If you card it by hand, I don't have the tangled stuff to start with here, but I can show you something about how we do it. So you take the tangled knot and you put a little bit of it on your card. If you don't have it, you can go to the blacksmith and he can make you a coarse. So you run it across you like this, and it is quite tangled up, although I don't have any of the curly tangled. And then you go like this across a couple of times. Go backwards. Do it again. Backwards. Okay, so then we have a puff that's very spinning. It's ready to go, and it spins very easily. Now, the bag of this is a very large bag. I sent away and had a large machine do that because the actual hand carding takes so long, and I need a huge amount. So I sent it away. It's not very expensive to have a card, but if you want to have it spun, it's very expensive. The spinning takes a long time, and it's very, so the process is really not learn. But I can make it thick or thin, or artistic looking, or whatever. If I'm going to spin it myself, I can spin it for the purpose I want. Making socks. Okay, today we're talking about making socks. Okay, if I make it about that thick, and we can knit with that, or we can double it. It's called flying. That makes it a little thick, so you make a very thick sock that way. And then if you made a gigantic sock for a soldier, then you would wash it and shrink it. And if you do hot water and soap and you pound it, you would make a very good sock because it would be firm and thick and water resistant. And if you actually put it on and wore it wet, it would shake to your foot. And then it would perfectly fit you. And the soldiers that didn't have any socks didn't do much fighting. really smart soldier at knit. A lot of soldiers knew how. And they could make knitting needles with a stick of wood and their knives. They could carve. So basically, the spinning wheel just twists it up. Here, it's not strong.
Oh, yes. Okay.
You put it together by laying it over. So you can graft this together. Once it's twisted up, it's very strong. It's actually quite hard for me to break this one. If I double it, I absolutely can't. I let it get a little too thin. It got away from me. See, it's because it's fixed so it has a pull, and I let it get a little bit too thin, and it got away. So I'll finish breaking it. Spread it out a little bit, and overlap. And then I've grafted them together. There we go. I just let it get a little too thin at that. If you're just a beginning spinner, it happens again and again and again. It takes a long time. It takes, my estimate is 3 to 6 hours before you feel reasonably comfortable when you're learning how to spin.
You see there's a spool